Hi again, it's Paul here, and just been looking at the what's been going on last night and what's been going on ever. I mean, what did I say just over a year? Well, just over a year ago, about things are going to get worse and people are going to start protecting themselves. And it is, I mean, our government cannot protect us anymore. It can it has gone beyond the pale, and what I said over just a year ago that people are going to have to start thinking for themselves and start protecting themselves because this government cannot protect us anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter if we've got this Brexit. I mean, this Brexit is worth nothing. We voted for Brexit just sort to 51, 52, and what's happened at the moment is that the these bastards in Westminster have really, they really mean business. I mean, these people, they say they can protect us, but they can't protect us anymore. Okay, let's boil it down. We're having all these attacks in Europe. We're having attacks in the UK. Police are militarising. The government is getting too ruthless. And our lives are at risk. Not just from the terrorists, but from the people that they place on the streets. These refrain, what I've been covering for a while. These refrain police, and also following orders from a foreign power, i.e., the European Union. Because, like I said last week, Article 5 has not been invoked, and also our Bill of Rights has not been invoked, and also the 1972 or 1972 European Communities Act has not been um, repealed, and we live in increasingly predatory police state at the moment. We live in a soft tyranny. Okay. What we live under now is things are escalating because people are waking up. I understand that. People are waking up and people are wanting answers. For what just happened is proven. It's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that these politicians, they said, oh well, we're going to warn of these things that are going to happen. But now it has sufficed. Because the people that they're letting in, the people that they are helping and protecting and arming and funding and giving them safe tenure in this country, and they're bringing them in so they can take our rights, they can ban more guns, they could ban all this, they could ban all that, they could ban the air, even if, no matter how psychologically fucked up they are. Okay, I have been trying to not just get a hold of this, but talk to people. And with what's happening right now, I've I've seen, I've discussed this with Albert, I've discussed this with other people, I've discussed this with every single person, even if they're an anti-gunner, even if they're a pro-gunner, even if they want to just run away and put their head in the sand. Now, what's proven this? The fella who said, "Oh well, we can't mention this fella's name. We can't mention this Islamic thing. We can't mention this. We can't mention the jihadis that we installed in Saudi Arabia. We can't mention this. We can't mention that due to due to the name of this fella and due to the name of what's going on. I mean, the stuff that is going on in Europe is completely bad at the moment. The economy is falling. The, the world's falling in with itself. The government wants war with Russia, and the government wants war with China. And NATO is is mounting up things on the border, which is going to be a complete powder keg that's going to happen. Europe is in flames. We are in flames. Africa is in flames, and the Middle East is up in flames as well. And the big decision that we have to take upon ourselves, and we're going to have to start surviving once again. We're going to have to start protecting ourselves once again. They said only because what they said now with all these terrorists, accept something big, accept something this, and accept something that. Well, they can't even foil it. What about the other people that foiled these terrorist attacks? They all got jailed, didn't they? Because the very politicians are the puppets of our global slave masters, and they're the ones behind it. Bartholomew, whatever, Rothschilds, whatever. Any any person, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're behind it, you are just as guilty. Okay. Think about this for 1 second. You're in a situation, and that you are going to be in great danger. So who is the terrorist? The news are saying increasingly now that the terrorist is not the jihadi. They can't say it. This policeman said, "Oh well," in this TV interview it was a TV press conference in London, and he's one of the big cheeses. He's one of the big highs up, and he said that we cannot say of his name, and we do not know what he said, and we cannot say what happened, and we cannot say the motive. It was only 13 people injured and also one person dead due to a knife attack. We've had these attacks happen in London now. We've had these attacks happening all over the place now in Britain, and we can't defend ourselves. And guess what? Who's the culprit? Our governments, our politicians, and our leaders. Right? Think about it. We throw all these billions at protecting this country without having the proper intelligence enough. I mean, I'm not just going to say intelligence enough as I'm not going to skip people. I'm not going to do that. I mean, people have got enough worries on their plate at the moment. But when they're saying, well, we didn't have the intelligence, and it's down to intelligence. So who is leading our intelligence groups? Is it G4S? Is it Serco? Is it the people getting tons and tons of money out of it? Billions out of it? And you're getting these politicians in the European Union said, oh, we need gun control, we need this, we need that. And what happened in Garden, Texas? San Bernardino, Paris, Copenhagen, Molenbeek, Berlin. Potentially could be another Operation Gladio situation that could happen in Italy again, Spain, France, Portugal, and various other things. Now, we've got to really think about this. The police are militarizing for a reason, and they're banning these things for a reason. This is not for the jihadis. Like what Albert Pike said, they need three things: a world war against the the Muslims, a clash of civilization. Along before that, it was a war with the Nazis, a war with the Soviets. The Reds under the bed, the Nazis under this and under that. And guess who funds them? Our own governments, the big banks and various other things. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? And just leave you to make up your own mind and have a good, academically good response to this and have an educated opinion. That's what I'm saying to you. But at the moment, things are getting very dangerous right now. Things are getting very dangerous to the point of where I am really frantic at the moment. You've got the thing within the US where the people who control the government of the US are the same people who control us. Oh yeah, literally the same. The ones that control the European Union, the ones that control the IMF, the ones that control the BIS, and the ones that control the WTO, the WHO, the EU, and the UN, and NATO. The various other things. They're behind all this gun control, and they're behind all the eugenics. They're behind all this. But also, I'm going to stay on topic with this. They're behind the terrorists. Guess who installed them in the Middle East? British intelligence and US intelligence. NATO intelligence after, with Operation Gladio and the Battle Mine Half Group, and a Committee of 300. If you look at Committee of 300 by Dr. Coleman, it would spell it correctly. That we, and what people have predicted over not just decades but centuries now, and various other things. Things are getting very, 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 very worrying at the moment. I'm worried, and I'm not saying that everyone is not worried, but I'm pretty sure there's a good sizable chunk that the people are worried. Even on Facebook, even on Twitter, even in this neighbourhood right here, right now. And I'm going to tell the police one thing. You may have militarised, but you're not an army. You were there to save us. You were there to protect us. And you're following illegal orders. Even confiscating guns, even confiscating this and confiscating that. But you and your future and my future and your children's future, every single future ever possible. Things are getting very, very serious right now. They're going for broke. And I'm not going to, I'm not pretending this. I'm not bullshitting whatever. But they're going for broke. And I'm going to tell the police right now, how are you going to cope with this when your pension funds have been stolen by these fat cats in Westminster and all these things? How are your family going to cope with this? How are you going to do this, and how are you going to do that? The third thing what I like to tell the police, I don't hate you. I love you. I want the best of future for you as for myself. I want the best of the future for everyone. No matter if they are the biggest screw on the street. Things have gotten very serious right now. We've had this last year, we've had this time and time and time again. But we're going to have to stop this together. And start waking up. Start helping us and help you. We're going to have to stop this insanity. Things are getting very worse. I'm not fear mongering, I'm not doom mongering, but what I'm saying is the obvious. Things that happen do have consequences to it. And we're going to have to look within ourselves and start thinking for ourselves. We're going to have to start surviving for ourselves, and also the government